Okay, next up, we have Coach Fairchild, but to present Coach Fairchild, Marty Brill.
Thank you, David, for that lavish introduction. I'm here to introduce Coach Fairchild, and you can't introduce him without introducing his counterpart, Wes Fisher. A little over 50, or a little less than 51 years ago, we had one of those rare events in any athlete's life, an undefeated football season. There have only been 5 at Paly since 1950. And it took 47 years following our season for the next one to come along. So they're rare events and worthy of celebration. And the ingredients of them have a lot to do with the coaching. I wanted to tell you a little bit about Wes Fisher, who can't be here tonight. He turned 90 years old this June. And he has an extraordinarily long history with Paly. In 1941 and 1942, Wes was a 5'6", 150-pound running back for the Vikings. Seasons in which they beat Sequoia, they were undefeated against Sequoia and were unscored on in those years. He was coached by the famous, legendary Hod Ray. Wes served in World War II as for the U.S. Army Air Corps, flying P-47s in the European theater. Before going to college, and after the war, he went to San Jose and got his degree in '50. He was hired by Hod Ray as an assistant football coach that year, and continued on until I think it was about 1973. Hod Ray also hired him to be the wrestling coach, where in his 23 years, he compiled a record of 175 wins and 65 losses, winning 9 conference titles and coming in second 10 times in the course of that career, an absolutely astounding record. He retired in coaching in 1973 following an injury, which was suffered when one of his wrestlers, ecstatic in victory following a match, jumped into Wes Fisher's arms and in the process hit Wes in the jaw with his knee, breaking both Wes's jaw and his neck, and causing Wes's retirement from coaching. In 2003, following the passing of Maxine, his wife of 53 years, Wes suffered a stroke which resulted in the loss of most of his vision, and he moved to Yountville's Veterans Hospital in 2007, where he remains happily today. As much as Wes is remembered and revered by the team of 63, he is even more warmly recalled by the hundreds of wrestlers he mentored in his 23 career. To quote just 2, quote, "He brought encouragement and confidence in a difficult sport in difficult times when we most needed them both." Esteemed wrestling coach, mentor, educator, and friend, without his tutelage, training, and encouragement, we are not the contributors to our families and society that we've since become. For his guidance and endless enthusiasm, I too will always be grateful to Wes Fisher. A little background on Coach Fairchild, who is here tonight. He distinguished himself as a guard and team leader at the College of Pacific Sun Bowl football team, graduating in 1952. During the Korean War, he served bravely as an MP at the San Francisco Presidio, where he extended his football career and burnished his leadership credentials as captain of the U.S. Army's Presidio football team. Jim's coaching career began in 1955 at Madera High School, followed immediately thereafter assuming the reins of the head coaching job at Clear Lake Union High in 1956. In his 4 years at Clear Lake, Jim's team won 2 North Bay League championships, losing only 2 conference games and compiling an overall record of 25 wins, 7 losses. In 1960, he was hired as assistant football coach at Paly, rising to the head coaching position before the 1963 season. Jim's brief but notable career at Paly lasted only through the 1965 season. In 1966, he accepted the position of assistant to head coach Bill Abbey at Foothill College, rising to the head coaching position in '74, where he continued in this role for a period of 11 years before retiring after the '84 season. It was news to me until only recently that I discovered that in addition to his duties as the Owls football coach, Jim was also the coach of the Foothill golf team. I must admit that were I given 100 guesses of Jim's parallel career, I would be unlikely to imagine him as a graceful short game player and thoughtful reader of difficult greens. That's as funny as I get. Jim retired to Mesa, Arizona in 1985, where he continues to indulge his passion for fast and flashy transportation with a big old Harley motorcycle and a new jet black Corvette. Jim's coaching philosophy is founded upon respect for his players as individuals and in treating them with the same level of dignity as he as a player would hope to be treated. His approach to teaching was uniquely positive, emphasizing each player's potential and a means of achievement rather than belaboring mistakes with threats, humiliation, and intimidation as substitutes for meaningful instruction and confidence building. A unique approach, I must say. In assessing his coaching career, Jim prizes the opportunity at the high school level to positively influence young men and engender a sense of loyalty to team and the value of teamwork as may be a value beyond the arena of sports. Fun and enjoyment fall near to the heart of this philosophy, and during the season of '63, there was hardly a day of practice which wasn't enlivened by his self-deprecating sense of humor. Knitted together, Jim's manner of leadership engendered a concept of team which knitted together coaches and players from stars to reserves as a single unit with common objectives and a shared belief in the principles of success. Jim asserts that he was the luckiest person on earth to step into a coaching position at Paly. I demur. It was the players that he led that were the beneficiaries of a dream team of coaches and the gift of possibilities realized. Jim, my friend and mentor, you've been among the great blessings in my life, and I feel fortunate indeed to have been granted this serendipitous opportunity to express my gratitude. Thank you again for that magical season. It has meant more to me than you might ever imagine. Yabba dabba doo! Coach Jim Fairchild.
I've told a lot of people that I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I stepped into a situation where I had outstanding athletes, a great faculty, a great administration, and everybody was supportive, and the players we had, of course, made the team. I guess you noticed I got the shake. That's right. I don't want to put it too close, I'll bite it. Anyway, I thank you very much for having me here, and it's just so great to see all the players that showed up, and all of those of you that came up and said a few kind words. And So thank you very much and have a good evening.